guys, this is Kelly. I'm back with another process video. This layout is for Citrus Twist Kits, and I am trying to decide which pattern paper that I want to use to back my Mickey head. Now I went online and I just found a very simple PNG image and imported it into my Silhouette and traced it and then cut the image out. I know that there's not a lot of Disney images to be had, but a simple Mickey head was very easy. And I wanted to use this kit for a couple of the Disney pages that I have. I have not scrapbooked a whole lot of the Disney photos. This is back in like, oh gosh, 2007 maybe? We went twice, 2007 and 2009. And I'm just not a big themed scrapbooker, so, it can be a little bit difficult to, make or create pages that have a theme going, especially when that is not your forte. So I decided to use that really cool, I guess it's a leopard print paper, even though the kids are holding a lion. Yeah, because this was Simba. I decided just to go with it. I really liked the way that the yellow popped behind the Mickey head, and I liked the fact that it brought out, the image in the photos of the kids holding him. I just thought it was all around, it just worked well. So what I'm doing is going through the 6x8 papers that came in the Project Life kit, and I'm trying to decide which ones that I want to back the photos with. And I've made one layout with the kit when I was making this page, so I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I have. I don't really get going into a kit until I make the third or sometimes even the fourth layouts. So that's just, kind of my process, and it does take me a little bit to fumble through. So I decided to use this black piece of pattern paper, and I'm pretty sure that I end up using it on both photos. I really liked the way that black popped off of the yellow. Again, this is a pretty high contrast layout, and I think that it really helps to have your focus on the photos, which is always what I like to do, the focus on the photos or the story, and still play with the pretty things. So I am going to stick with this design. When you have a large cut file, it pretty much takes the guesswork out of, some of what you're going to be doing. There's only so many different places that I can embellish on this because like I said, I wanted that paper to really stand out. I thought it was pretty cool. And I decided that since my photos are going to go in the lower right-hand corner, that I definitely needed an embellishment cluster up on Mickey's ear. So I am going to play around with that a little bit. That hello doesn't make it. I thought that I would incorporate the title, hello Simba or something like that, but I couldn't make it work with, the supplies that I had and what I was doing with that day. Some days it comes easy, and other days like this one, I really did play around quite a bit. So that Make Today Magical is from the chipboard set, and I thought that was perfect since, Disney's all about magic, and it just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to get themed products to make themed pages. So that is my goal, and that is what I like, is things that I can use for more than one type of page. So I did want to bring a little green up just because, there's green in my daughter's shirt, and I thought that it would make a nice contrast. And, this page ended up being one of my favorites from the kit just because it's so different. The color scheme is definitely different than something I normally do. And then I end up doing something with the letters that just make it work well. So that cute phrase is by Maggie Holmes, and that is one of her new thicker sets. I love script fonts and script phrases, and I really wanted to make that work. You can see it much better in real life in the photos, and then obviously, when you're watching it back, it kind of blends in, but in real life it really pops, and I do love it. So as usual, I've got to put a doily behind one of the photos. I just love the different bits of texture that it gives. And, you know, for me, it's all about making things visually interesting while keeping the focus on the photos and the story. So I just got back from a retreat that Heather from Heather's Crafty Life, she put together, and can I tell you, I'm having post-retreat letdown. You know, of course, my scrap room was a mess when I left. I trashed it even more because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and so I was just throwing things in bags, and now I've got to clean it up. And, you know, I just am not very motivated to help clean up that area, so I'm going to have to do something to get it done. So if you have any suggestions on how to do it, please let me know, because I definitely need it. So this black and white spotted paper I thought would be pretty cool. I guess it's the leopard print as well, and I'm just going to put that little teeny tiny strip under the photos, and it just helps to ground the photos and the title as well. Okay, so I've been having issues with my black splatters, like major issues, and it's driving me nuts. I went ahead and I watered down some black acrylic paint, and I'm using, I can't remember what size brush. So if you have a certain brush size that works really well for splatters, please let me know. I want to be able to do it without it driving me nuts. I had some mist that worked well, but the mist ran out, and I haven't been able to find that anymore. So again, like I said, I'm open to any of your suggestions. So I did put that aside to dry. It is acrylic paint, but I did add water, so it is going to take a few minutes to dry. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do while it's drying is go ahead and adhere things down. Oh, I do have a question for you. While I was away at the retreat, it was Friday afternoon and Saturday were air scrapping days. I managed to get together 5 layouts, which was probably 2 more than I thought I'd be able to do, just because I get caught up in talking or, you know, seeing what everybody else is doing. And, you know, sometimes for me, like I've said before, I have to do pages and walk away from them. So I was pretty surprised that I got 5 pages done in that time. And what I want to know is, would you like me to do a quick video flip through of the layouts that I created? I will say that I did not take my sewing machine, and that was the one thing that I wish I had taken, just because it became very apparent how frequently I sew on my pages, as in just about every single one of them, I think. And that's okay. That's, you know, part of one of the things that I like doing, so I don't mind doing it. But I brought home the layouts, and I still haven't finished them all because I was like, oh, I need to add sewing here, and I want to add sewing here, and I want to add journaling, but I want to type it just because it'll look neater and I have more to say. So I've got to finish the layouts, but if you guys would like to see just a quick flip through, let me know and I will do it. And if not, my feelings won't be hurt. You know, sometimes when you can't see the process of how it comes together, it does make it a little bit more difficult. So I went ahead and I snipped a tag in not in half, more than half, like 3/4. I wanted to play around. I love tucking things. I love making interesting layers and having things peek out. And I thought that maybe I would get it to work on this page. Ultimately, it does not stay there. It does right now have a good balance of embellishment clusters on both sides, but it's not going to stay there because I'm going to add kind of like a little subtitle over to that left-hand side. And once I added the little label that it went on, it just was too much. So I'm trying to figure out the last little embellishments that I want to do. I have pulled a couple of those hearts from that Maggie Holmes thicker pack, and I have, you know, a trio of gold if you're counting the cute part of the title, but I wanted to see what else I could get to work, and I just couldn't do it. But I was able to make this ampersand work. And sometimes I have a difficulty with those as well. But I figured the title read Stay Wild and Make Today Magical. You know, if you combine those two parts, or it doesn't necessarily have to go together, but it makes sense. So those things make me happy to be able to use products that sometimes tend to sit in my stash. So I probably should have cut some of this out. Like I said, working with things that aren't my usual, you know, things. For lack of a better word, it is my bedtime, and I'm trying to get this done. So, excuse me. But when I'm not working with my regular supplies or things that I tend to gravitate towards, it does take me a little bit longer sometimes to create the layout, but I end up loving the layouts. So it really goes to show that doing something out of your comfort zone really does work well. And this is where I decided that I wanted to put AK for Animal Kingdom. I wanted to use these puffy stickers by Pinkfresh, but the gray was going to just like fade away. So I tested out coloring the letters with my Copics, and I'm sorry that I'm a wee bit off screen, but when I color it in, I do believe you will be able to see it. So I decided what I wanted to do is put the AK to the left of the photos, and then I'm going to color in black just because there's so much black, or there's a few pops of black already on the page. And so here is my tip. If you have not done this, it is really a great and easy way to further stretch your stash. And if you don't have a Copic collection, I have a few Copic markers. I don't have a ton, but a black one would be perfect because it is, you know, the perfect thing, especially if you like black alphas. But it's like the perfect thing to do to change the colors of some of, you know, these type of rubber type embellishments or alphas. And, you know, I did that, and I love the way that it brings that pop of black over to that left-hand side. So here's where I'm trying to figure out exactly which label I want. I wanted something a little bit bigger, something to have a little bit of substance to it. And I pulled this Pinkfresh label. And I'm sorry, what I do is after, you know, I've made one layout, I throw all of my kits together. So I'm not quite sure at this point what part, if those labels were in the main kit or not. But I'm going to go ahead and cut that label in half and then put the AK on that label. And it's just, you know, for me, I know this is silly, but it's little things like that that almost make me giddy. I love it when something works like that. And I also get happy when I'm able to use the other half of something that I've cut right away. Because if I don't, a lot of times it will also sit in my stash. So I know that there's other people that do that as well. So this is pretty much it for me today. I'm just trying to see if I can get any of these word phrases to work. I do end up getting one that says together to work on the page. And I thought that that worked well since it is both of my kids and it is both of my kids holding Simba. And it can be taken for both ways. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It has been a while, I know. I'm sorry. Things are still a wee bit crazy with my mom. I did get her moved into a second assisted living facility, and now we're trying to get her house on the market. So, well, actually it is up on the market. It just went up. So it's one of those things where I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I'm just going to be happy when it slows down just a little bit. So thanks so much for the comments and your support. They really do mean a lot. I appreciate it. And to my new subscribers, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you stick around and check things out. And I will be seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.